All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Mic check 1, 2. Looks like everything is good. What's on? What's going on, my good people? It's your boy Cornelius Jones. 10-minute investing. We are back again, and it is a blessing to be doing another video. Well, the title of this video is right there in the right there, point blank for you guys. We have been talking about in the XRP community for years that every bank in Japan is going to be using XRP in 2025. Well, this has come from the CEO of SBI Global in Japan. And so I went to ChatGPT and I'm just like, okay, hey, where are we with this? And so we're going to go over exactly where we are according to some research and some questions that I asked ChatGPT. And we're going to see exactly what banks have already started using XRP. All right, so let's jump into that. While I'm pulling this up, I want to let everyone know that we have an open Zoom meeting tonight that is open for the public, for all those who want to find out more information about Cryptex. A lot of people are jumping on and understanding the great opportunity that this is. You are dealing with smart contracts that are guaranteed to pay you out on a 3-year, 5-year, or 7-year basis. 3-year contracts pay out $30,000. 5-year contracts pay out $471,000. 1-year contracts pay out $1 million. Every contract costs $100. To find out the details about this, you need to visit the Zoom meeting, and the link to the Zoom meeting is in the description of this video. All right, so let's get into my Grok search here. Gonna go ahead and read this to you if I can pull it up. I don't want the ghost search. Why is that showing up? Oh, now it's not showing up. Oh my goodness. I had saved a search on here and now I can't find it. I may just ask the question over. Gonna do it live with you right here because I can't find the question. All right, so I'm just gonna type it in. There have been multiple articles published about Japan using XRP, banks in Japan using XRP in 2025. As of today, where are we with XRP adoption in Japan? All right. Let's see what it says. I'm going to read the question again. There have been multiple articles published about banks using XRP in 2025. As of today, where are we with XRP adoption in Japan? All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read what it says. It says, as of May 6, 2025, the narrative around XRP adoption by Japanese banks is a mix of ambitious claims, partial truths, and speculative hype, primarily driven by Ripple's partnerships and the enthusiasm of XRP's community. Here's a grounded assessment based on available information. Current state of XRP adoption in Japan. SBI Holdings as a key player. SBI Holdings, a major Japanese financial conglomerate and longtime Ripple partner, has been a vocal advocate for XRP. Its CEO, Yoshitaka Kitao, however you pronounce that, Kitao, has consistently promoted XRP's utility for cross-border payments and remittances. SBI has integrated Ripple's technology, including RippleNet and XRP Ledger, into its services, particularly for international remittances. For example, SBI Remit, a subsidiary, uses Ripple's on-demand liquidity with XRP for faster and cheaper cross-border transactions. SBI VC Trade, a crypto trading platform launched by SBI, supports XRP trading, further embedding XRP in Japan's financial ecosystem. RippleNet adoption. RippleNet, Ripple's blockchain-based payment network, has seen adoption by several Japanese financial institutions. Reports suggest that Ripple has partnered with major banks like Mitsubishi UFJ, Sumitomo Mitsui, and I can't pronounce these banks, y'all. Through the extent of XRP's use as opposed to RippleNet without XRP is less clear. Ripple's technology is used to streamline cross-border payments, reducing reliance on slower, costlier systems like SWIFT. XRP serves as a bridge currency in some of these transactions, particularly through ODL, which eliminates the need for pre-funded accounts. We know that. Okay, here we go. Claims of widespread adoption. Multiple articles and X posts from late 2024 to early 2025 claim that 80% of banks, 80% of Japanese banks, or every bank in Japan, will adopt XRP by the end of 2025. These claims often cite Katao or SBI as sources, but lack verified confirmation from primary sources like the Bank of Japan or official bank statements. And I don't have a problem with that at all. And we all know why the bank would not officially come out and make a statement like that with a prediction like that, right? I think that's common sense. So that doesn't mean it's not true just because they have not come out and made an official statement. A February 2025 article suggests the BOJ itself adopted XRP for cross-border payments, but this appears overstated. The BOJ has explored blockchain and digital currencies, but no official BOJ policy mandates XRP adoption across all banks. And it's the same way with Bank of America, right? There are certain banks that we know that are definitely going to be using the technology once the market and once the global atmosphere is conducive for that. However, let me keep reading. I want to get into this some specific banks that are already adopting XRP. In Japan, the 80% adoption figure seems to stem from speculative reports and may reflect Ripple's partnerships covering a significant portion of the banking sector, rather than actual XRP integration. Some sources note that while RippleNet is widely adopted, not all partners use XRP directly. And this is an issue that I've covered on my channel many times. Just because someone is partnered with Ripple today does not mean that they are using XRP today. But we do know when it comes to adoption, out of all the ones using XRP out of every country, Japan is using XRP more than the other countries. Obviously, it's still not enough worldwide to affect XRP's price to get into 2 and 3 digits. But once regulation is completed in the United States, that is going to be a signal green light for the entire world to get ready to engage with these assets. All right, recent developments. In January 2025, SBI Shani Bank announced it would use Ripple's distributed ledger technology for international remittance services, reinforcing Ripple's growing footprint. Ripple's launch of Ripple USD or RLUSD, a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar on the XRP ledger and Ethereum blockchains, aims to enhance liquidity for cross-border payments. This could complement XRP's role in Japan's financial ecosystem. A consortium of over 50 Japanese banks reportedly formed to leverage XRP for digital and cross-border payments was mentioned in April 2025 posts. However, details on its progress or actual XRP usage remain scarce. All right, hold on. This is really lengthy here. I wanted to get into the specific banks because my previous post that I did listed some the specific banks that are currently confirmed using XRP, and I don't see that in here, so I'm going to just ask that question. Let's see, which banks are confirmed in Japan? Wait, which banks in Japan as of today? Okay, what I put in is which banks in Japan are confirmed using XRP as of today. All right, so we got confirmed banks and entities using XRP in Japan. First one, SBI Remit. This subsidiary of SBI Holdings is explicitly confirmed to use XRP as a bridge currency for international remittances. A MasterCard document from April 2025 highlights SBI's Remit's use of Ripple's on-demand liquidity with XRP to facilitate fast and cost-effective fund transfers, particularly for cross-border payments. Next, we have SBI VC Trade, launched by SBI Holdings. This crypto trading platform enables users to purchase XRP using Japanese yen, further embedding XRP in Japan's financial ecosystem. SBI CEO, whatever his name is, Yoshitaka Kitao, I think that's how you say it, has consistently championed XRP for cross-border payments, reinforcing its use within SBI's operations. SBI Ripple Asia, a joint venture between SBI Holdings and Ripple. This entity drives XRP adoption in Asia. It has developed solutions like MoneyTap, a mobile app using Ripple's technology for domestic and international transfers. While MoneyTap primarily uses Ripple's tech, some reports suggest XRP is integrated for certain transactions, though exact details are sparse. We also have SBI Shinsei Bank. As of January 31st, 2025, SBI Shinsei, however you say it, announced it began using Ripple's distributed ledger technology for international remittance services. While the announcement emphasizes Ripple's technology, posts on X and crypto news sources indicate XRP is part of this integration, aligning with SBI's broader push for XRP adoption. However, no primary bank statement explicitly confirms XRP versus RippleNet usage. So this is partly inferred from SBI's ecosystem. And just want to add in there, because we kind of touched on this briefly, understanding that if any bank that works with Ripple now is not using XRP now, it is just temporal. They're going to use it in the future. That is just so clear to me. And we don't need direct statements and official statements from banks to know that to be the case. We don't need that to know that to be the case. So the information ChatGPT is going to give as confirmative are only things that have been obvious statements by banks or things that can be actually confirmed. And that was the question, right, that I asked it. All right, so number 3, MoneyTap Consortium. MoneyTap, a blockchain-based payment app developed by SBI Ripple Asia, is used by a consortium of Japanese banks for domestic and cross-border payments. As of 2024, 8 banks are confirmed to be connected to MoneyTap, including smaller regional banks. While MoneyTap leverages Ripple's technology, some sources suggest XRP is used for specific international transactions, particularly through ODL. However, the exact banks using XRP within this consortium are not individually named in primary sources. The consortium reportedly covers over 80% of Japan's banking assets, but XRP's role is not universally confirmed across all members. Okay, so that makes sense. Major banks with Ripple partnerships, XPR usage unconfirmed. They have a list there. And then they have a list of unconfirmed, unverified, speculative claims, and things of that nature. I'm going to read the conclusion. As of May 6, 2025, the only entities with confirmed XRP usage in Japan are within the SBI Holdings ecosystem. SBI Remit using XRP for remittances via ODL, SBI VCT Trade supporting XRP trading, and potentially SBI Shinichi Bank using Ripple's DLT, likely with XRP. The MoneyTap consortium involving 8 regional banks may also use XRP for some transactions, but specific bank names and XRP extent are not fully disclosed. Major banks like Mitsubishi UFJ, Sumitomo Mitsui, and Mizuho are RippleNet partners, but XRP usage is unconfirmed. Banks of 80%, claims of 80%, or every bank adopting XRP lack primary verification and should be approached skeptically. For accurate updates, check official statements from SBI Holdings, Ripple, or the banks themselves, as crypto media and expos often exaggerate. And that's true. You know, crypto YouTubers, X posts is very important that when, especially on X, it's important when we're looking at things, when people are making these announcements, that they're actually pulling their sources from actual verified things that can be confirmed, right? I've definitely been guilty of looking at things and thinking it was something that was confirmed, and then going back later and like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? So we all have to be very careful of that. So with that said, though, the belief that every bank in Japan will be using crypto, or specifically XRP, by the end of this year, what do I think about that in light of everything that I read? Well, not only will Japan be using it, the United States will be using it, Europe will be using it, everybody's going to be using it. It's not a far-fetched idea, especially given where we are in this ecosystem. SBI is the largest bank by far in Japan. So if SBI is on board, then if integrating XRP into their system is saving them money, making them more money, making things more efficient, etc., in the payment system, then it's only common sense that everybody else is going to follow suit. Now, given the United States, what's going on in this country has so much to do with the domino that's going to run everything in motion when it comes to the rest of the world. The United States is still the #1 financial market in the world, regardless of the depreciating value of the dollar. When it comes to the total GDP, when it comes to just the global market, the United States is #1. It's still #1. So the United States is the final piece of the puzzle, because when these central banks get on this digital technology, they're not getting on to just trade with themselves. They're getting on to trade with their other central bank partners. And this global system is not going to work if the United States is not a part of that infrastructure. And so once we get legislation, that's it. That's it. I believe global adoption of XRP will start with approval of legislation in the United States, which will also follow the good news of the ending lawsuit. And that is going to be the caveat that just causes us to explode into global adoption. That's how I see things playing out. And you have to understand, when it comes to certain research, there are certain things that are going on behind the scenes that we're just never going to know for surety, especially in other countries, right? We're way over here in the United States. We're talking about what's going on with central banks in Japan, right? But yes, banks are already using XRP in Japan. And by the end of 2025, we would have had hopefully at least about 3 months where legislation has been completed and XRP has had the green light to move in this world the way it was designed to move. So we'll see what happens with that, of course. We'll just have to keep updated. But that's where we are with that. It's not that 100% of banks should be expected to be using XRP. But I believe enough banks will be using XRP that it will make us wealthy if we get the legislation in place. That's how I see it. And we got some people in the building. I'm gonna rock with y'all for a little while. Nathaniel Rosaball, my guy, always here. Glad to see you, my brother. Keith McCullough, how do I say your name? McCullough? I hope I said that right. What's going on, my brother? Good day to you, John Patton. Glad to see you in the place. You were expecting XRP to $5 by when? Surely not soon. Well, when I say soon, I mean like in the next couple days or next couple weeks. I definitely think it can get there in the next few months or so. Al 4909, what's going on? Revolutionary, you still waiting on Sheeb? I gave up on Sheeb a long time ago. ZMR, what's going on? Of course, I still have hope in XRP. At this point, it's not even hope to me. It's just I just understand. It's an understanding. It's not a hope. It's an understanding. Even though it's an understanding that hasn't happened yet, it's an understanding, right? What is my understanding? I understand two fundamental things. The first thing I fundamentally understand is that this financial system, this whole legacy financial system, is outdated. We are running on rails that are well over 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Everything else in the world has been evolving when it comes to technology. Why wouldn't our financial system evolve? It's already evolving. When you look around, our financial system has evolved. The way you're making payments today is not the way you've made payments 15, 20 years ago. So I see the change of our financial market, and I see that there's more change to come. That's just an understanding that I have. The second fundamental understanding that I have is the role, the specific role that XRP was designed to play and is going to play in this new financial system. When we get on these new rails, there is a designed role for a liquidity token like XRP. And so when XRP functions in the role, right, everything is just going to be what it is. That role is bridging liquidity in volumes of trillions. Use case that is going to be involving faster payments, just a more efficient way to move markets for the largest money providers in the world that have trillions, tens of trillions, hundreds of trillions of dollars to move on this ledger. Those two things, that helps me understand, okay, the world is changing. This change is going to be bigger than the internet. And I have invested in a coin that is going to basically fund this change, or is right at the heart of the functionality with this ecosystem. It's a no-brainer to me. It's a no-brainer to me. So I don't hope that XRP is going to be valuable. I just understand that it is. That's kind of how I see it, right? There's no doubt in my mind that XRP is going to be valuable in the future. Now, when we're talking about the specifics of how soon, well, that's where my hope lies. I hope I'm rich this year with XRP, right? I hope. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. But what I do know is what I hold is highly valuable, highly, highly, highly valuable. And the market has not realized that value, which is good for all of us. It's good for all of us. What's going on, Altus? Disco R1 in the building. Are we getting all crypto regulations in August or just stablecoins? No, it won't be all of them at the same time. I believe stablecoins will be first. There is another crypto regulation that is called Fit 21. I look for that to be coming sometime soon as well. But those are two that I know of. I believe there's a third one, but there will be multiple pieces of legislation for crypto. But we just need the stablecoin at least to pass, right? Because that's going to be huge for the adoption of these new rails. That's going to be huge. V Cypher, hi, what about USDR? Yeah, I talk about USDR in my Discord group. So come on to the Discord group if you want to hear about USDR. You know, I will tell you this. I've been telling you guys. We have a member in our Discord group that has access to certain knowledge that most of us just don't have because of his line of work. Works for a company that's a subsidiary of Berkshire and Hathaway. So the guys that he can talk to, the information that comes to him is just information we wouldn't be able to get with a Grok search, wouldn't be able to get with a Google search. You understand? And so he comes to our Discord meeting and he gives us updates on a lot of information that he's heard. And, he's not the only one. We have other men in there that do great research and come to the table with things to share. And it's a great group. But USDR is a topic that is talked about in the group. And in the group, I learned what happened to USDR. And we still have hope for USDR. I'll leave it at that. It's not over. It's not over. Let's see what happens when stablecoin legislation hits. But yeah, I learned exactly what happened to USDR and it's dealing with a particular company that is invested in USDR that I would have never been able to find out by myself, right? So if you want to find out that specific information, the link is in the description. Come on and join the Discord group. All right, Atlas Plateau 82. He said, imagine JP Morgan. Hold on. Imagine JP Morgan have a stable coin and Santander has their own. They won't need something to unify the different coins. Yes, absolutely. That's the role that XRP plays. And we've seen many clips of Ripple executives talking about how consumers want to engage with these different coins. No one wants to hold the Santander coin, but the Santander people, right? No one wants to hold the JP Morgan coin, but the JP Morgan people, right? And so there needs to be a medium where these different coins can be exchanged. And that's the purpose that XRP serves. XRP is not a gamble. I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. When you're talking about a gamble, you're just talking about throwing some money on something with no rhyme or reason and you hope it works out. That's not what we're doing with XRP. We have a understanding of how technology is about to change our world. And we've invested in a liquidity token that is right at the heart of this changing technology. So that is an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity. Yeah, a lot of banks have already were finished with the test phase. It's all about to happen very soon. Yes, I believe Ripple will acquire Circle. Yes, I do 100%. And we just got to wait for that official announcement. Why wouldn't they just create another stable bridge instead of a massive payout on XRP to every holder after they make it stable? Let me read that again. Why wouldn't they just create another stable bridge? I don't understand what you mean by another. You mean on the XRP ledger? Another stable bridge instead of a massive payout on XRP to every holder. I'm sorry. I don't understand your question, Earth is Ghetto. XRP is not stable. Why would they use an unstable bridge and risk every transaction? No, XRP is not stable. It's not stable. However, when it comes to remittances and cross-border payments, You only need XRP. You don't need XRP to be stable over a long period of time. The transaction happens in 3 to 5 seconds. So your confident level in that, let's look at the price right now on XRP. What is it? I think it's 219. Last I checked. Let me see what it is right now. Right now, XRP right now. Okay, right now, XRP is at 212. Right? So let's count to 5 and see if it's still at 212. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still at 212. Right? The chance of it being volatile in any 3 to 5 second time period is very low. Is very low. In any 3 to 5 second time period, XRP is very stable. And that's all the time you need to complete a transaction. It's actually, Brad Garlinghouse said that if you weigh the volatility of a fiat currency over the course of 2 weeks, that's more volatility than XRP over the course of 3 to 5 seconds. There's no other XRP. You're asking technically, why don't they make an XRP killer? Yeah, he's talking to, I think he's talking to Earth Ghetto. Yeah. Al49, you like XRP and Bitcoin? Others that I like, the ISO tokens for me. XRP is my favorite crypto. My second favorite crypto is XLM, XDC, Algorand, Quant, HBAR, all the X tokens, all the ISO tokens. Those are the tokens that have designed utility. I don't see Bitcoin in that area, in my opinion. I think Bitcoin is going to die off if nothing changes, because I don't see the need for something that's just a store of value when all these other cryptos can do so much more. I just don't see how Bitcoin is going to survive once the true utility of these other cryptos starts manifesting. But we'll see what happens. Earth is ghetto. Why not just make a stable coin for a bridge instead of unstable XRP and risk transactions? You have a misunderstanding, Earth is ghetto. Using XRP to bridge does not risk anything. It's not risking any transactions. That's a misunderstanding. The purpose of a stable coin is not to bridge. The purpose of a stable coin is you need a dollar denominated unit that's stable, that doesn't change. That's the purpose that serves. But within those units, if you have some, let's say United States has stable units, China has stable units, and they have to make a payment. Well, China doesn't want the US digital coin, and US doesn't want to hold China's. So what are they going to do? You need a coin in the middle where the US is making the payment, it turns into XRP, and then that XRP turns into the coin that they want over here. That's how XRP works. In that middle, it can transition from one thing of value and turn it into something else of value. That's why that bridging is necessary, because we have all types of different assets, different digital assets that need liquidity. And when you have one sharing and transacting into another, you need enough sufficient liquidity in the middle for that transaction to happen. That's the problem that XRP solves, and it does it at scale for prices that are dirt cheap. So it's a necessary component. You can't take it out. I hope that makes sense to you. Bitcoin is like that fax machine sitting in the corner of our office. Yep, for sure. I like to compare Bitcoin to MySpace, right? MySpace, and then there was Facebook, right? Bitcoin is MySpace, XRP is Facebook. The stablecoin train on the tracks. XRP is the rails. Yeah, that's right. And so many other assets will go on top of the tracks. That's right. Nope, I didn't get into Zebek, but I just learned about Zebek very recently. I learned about Zebek in my Discord group. And that's what's cool about my Discord group. I learned too. You know, I'm over the group. It's my group, obviously. I'm not the only one that's presenting information. I have my information I share, and then others have information that they share as well. And the information that other guys share is great. It's a great group. Revolutionary. So when XRP does pop off, what should it be sold as? Stable coins or fiat money? Very good question. Very good question. Very good question. So let's talk about that, because in my opinion, people, the worst thing you can do is sell off your XRP and go back into fiat. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't even want to do that. In my opinion, here's the best way to enjoy your XRP profits, not selling it, but using it and gaining interest on it. There are going to be so many avenues rather, to be able to give us yield. They're going to be yielding instruments of all kinds, many that are not even out yet, have not been developed yet. Some that I know of offhand. Of course, we have the AMMs. There are going to be banks that are going to say, hey, let us hold your XRP for you. Let us custody it for you, and we'll give you an interest because we hold your XRP. There's DeFi lending. There are going to be many, many different revenues to get yield. And that's the best thing to do, in my opinion, not sell it. And even into a stable coin, you're losing value over time when you sell XRP. The longer you hold XRP into the future, the better it is. So when XRP gets high enough so that the interest you're making on XRP can fund your life, then you're set. You're set. Because now all you got to do is live off your interest, and you know that as XRP continues to appreciate, so do your interest payments. So you may be making $10,000 a month, 1 month on XRP interest payments. And then that number goes up to 15,000, 20,000, 50,000 as the asset continues to appreciate. If you sell XRP, even if it's at $10,000 and you sold 100 coins at $10,000, well, in a few years, those 100 coins going to be a lot more than $10,000, right? So you will never, ever, ever regret the XRP that you held onto into the future. That's the best advice I can give when it comes to selling strategy, exit strategy. Hold on to them. Utilize the investing instruments that are going to be at our disposal. It's going to be very important. All right, quick question. Nathaniel, he said, Kadim's in the place. What's going on, Kadim? The Cod Keeper, quick question. Will Ripple force institutions to buy XRP on the exchanges instead of OTC? There's so here's how I'll answer that question. When you look at the XRP and Ripple's escrow, what I do know is that it is designed and allocated for their own purposes. Some of that I know is towards the ETFs, the XRP ETFs. I imagine that there are certain deals that Ripple has with certain institutions, different entities, and some of that may be going to them, right? People may have some type of option contract or whatever to buy XRP later from Ripple out the escrow at the price it is today. I don't know all those details. What I do know is that Ripple's job with the escrow is to responsibly and efficiently distribute XRP among the across the world, so that XRP can function in its true role, giving it the internet of value. Hence the internet of value. That's where we're headed towards, the internet of value. And so once the escrow is gone, it's not that Ripple is going to force anything. It's just that's what has to happen. Once the escrow is diluted, then when institutions have to get XRP, they have to go to places like Binance or Coinbase, or maybe it's not a place like that. Maybe it's a place like Hidden Road or something, right? Wherever they have to go for exchanges to get their XRP, that's where they have to go. They won't be able to get it directly from Ripple once that escrow is gone. So they have escrow that they're XRP that they're selling. They have XRP that is probably, they know exactly where this is going to go in the future. Can't say the details, of course. But yes, these large institutions are going to have to get their XRP from exchanges, not Ripple. I agree. Atlas, never sell your XRP. Ripple is going to buy a lot of crypto businesses. It's going to become a bank. A lot of people believe that, and it makes sense to me. It makes total sense to me. Are we meeting in the private group tonight? Yes, we are meeting in the private group tonight. But don't confuse the private group. For those of you who are in my private Discord group, we're going to have our regular meeting. I'm going to drop the time in the app. But we also have a separate Zoom meeting that's also tonight. And those are for the people who are interested in Cryptex. And so if you want to find out about the Cryptex contracts, that link is in the description of this video. Okay, so all you got to do is go to the description. You're going to find out everything you need to know. People, if you've never heard anything about this, you need to look at it. There are DeFi hybrid smart contracts that are being utilized to pay people some very, very nice money in 3, 5, and 7 years. 3-year contracts pay out $30,000 at the end. 5-year contracts pay out $471,000 at the end. 7-year contracts pay out $1 million at the end. And every contract you buy, regardless of the length of the time, each contract costs $100. There's a millionaire presenter that is going to give you all the details about these contracts. Any questions you may have. Is it legit? How can we trust it? All those questions, you will be able to answer. Those questions will be answered for you. And he is doing the meeting. And I'm just sharing the link with you guys. Okay. So don't confuse those two meetings. But for those of you who want to find out information about Cryptex, please check it out. You're going to be very glad you did. And then when you're ready to purchase your contracts, come back to this same video. I have a how to purchase your DeFi contracts how-to video that's in the description of this video. Well, a lot of people, when they've tried to sign up, they ran into some issues, and I handle a lot of the common, frequently asked questions in this video, give you a visual demonstration on how to set it up. So watch the how-to video first, and then when you're ready to sign up to Cryptex, then the link to sign up to Cryptex will be in the how-to video. Okay. All right. So I hope that makes sense for everybody. But yes, again, answer your question. We are definitely meeting tonight. If you want to be a part of the private Discord group, that link is in the description as well. How secure is it? It's very secure. These smart contracts cannot be revoked. They can't be stopped or anything like that. And they also have insurance companies that are involved in the whole process as well. And so I would advise anybody to find out more. Just go find out the information from the people that have the information, all the information. Go find out the information. It's a Zoom meeting tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time. Looking forward to meeting with those of you who are in my private Discord group tonight. Oh boy, we got some great stuff to talk about. Gonna look forward to talking with you guys privately tonight. And Kadeem was talking about, he said, there are no security risks. The only thing is that you have to deposit XRP, and it will be better options out there to use your XRP, like Doppler finance system. Yes, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. You were telling me about the Doppler finance system. There is going to be incredible use cases for yield for XRP. And if people could just understand that, be patient, and not sell their coins, then they're going to make out very well with this asset. They're going to make out very well. All right, people, that's my rant for today. I appreciate every single person who came through today. Thank you for rocking with my channel. The links in the description are there for you to utilize. Go check out everything. This is your boy Cornelius Jones. I will be back on a future video, and I'm going to bid you guys a good day. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.